The sentencing of Baloch rights activist Mahrang Baloch to life imprisonment by an anti-terrorism court in Pakistan has brought renewed international attention to developments in Balochistan. The verdict has sparked debate over political dissent, civil liberties, and the broader security situation in the province. To discuss the significance of the case, its implications for the Baloch rights movement, and the current situation in Balochistan, we are joined by Hakeem Baloch, Baloch activist and the member of the Baloch National Movement. Hello, sir. Welcome to Newsweek, South Asia. My first question to you is, Baloch activist Mahrang Baloch has now been sentenced to life imprisonment by an anti-terrorism court in Pakistan. What is your reaction to the verdict?
The judgment itself and the way the trial went, it was a sham. There was no, judiciary, no law were followed, and no due process, were followed in this trial. And they accused Dr. Mahrang Baloch, Sabqatullah Shaji, and other. They were not given a chance to put their points, their arguments. And even if they were given the chance, but the military, the FC, the Frontier Corps, were the one who was actually, holding the proceedings. It was not the judges, it was not the court, it was not the judiciary that actually written that sentence. It was the military who already had in their mind that they're going to use this trial against the Baloch leaders and activists to suppress them and to silence the Baloch voice for their rights in Balochistan.
For viewers who may not know her well, who is Mahrang Baloch and why has she become such an influential voice in Balochistan?
Mahrang Baloch and other activists, they took the lead of the Baloch Yekjehati Committee, the BYC, who she is leading now. And since then, she has become a very much prominent voice, from being nominated to, the 100 most influential people for the BBC, or being nominated in the Times, or being one of the nominated persons for, Nobel Peace Prize Award. And she was also voice that not only heard in Balochistan, in other parts of Pakistan, but also internationally. So that is why the Pakistani state has seen her as a threat, because she was exposing the crimes of the Pakistani army in Balochistan, and she was becoming the voice of those helpless mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, daughters, and whose loved one was missing in Balochistan.
There have been concerns over the use of anti-terrorism laws against political dissent. From your perspective, is this another example of that trend?
See, they don't have a proof against Dr. Mahrang. They don't have a case on which they can actually try her. They could have actually silenced her. So they made up this story, because on that day, which they're mentioning, the whole week, there was many Baloch activists were killed by the Pakistani military personnel. Inside Gwadar, outside Gwadar, people who were trying to travel from across Balochistan, they put containers on the road to put obstacles to stop them from joining. There was incidents where they actually opened fire on the buses and other vehicles. So yes, Pakistani state has been using all the available means to suppress the Baloch voices. And this one, they're trying to set a precedent, because Dr. Mahrang Baloch is a very prominent voice among the youth, among the generation who is actually being most affected and most impacted, be it the victim of enforced disappearances, be it the victim of arbitrary detention, or they are being profiling against them in Balochistan.
How would you describe the current situation on the ground in Balochistan? Has it become more restrictive for ordinary citizens?
So, for Baloch people, Balochistan has always been like a cage, and because there have never been a day where Baloch people were allowed to openly raise their voice, or to openly, express their opinion, their political opinion, or their opinion on how their, the minerals of Balochistan should be used, or how the life of Baloch people should get better, or why the Baloch are kept in a country without, their consent. So they never had this right, and it is the same till today. Now, the situation, daily situation in Balochistan is obviously increasingly becoming worse and worse day by day. What we have seen in past that the Pakistani army has abducted the male part of the society, the political activists, and doctors, lawyers, engineers. At the beginning, it was just abductions, torture, and leaving them. And then it became abduction, torture, and kill and dump policy.
What message do you believe the sentencing of one of Balochistan's most prominent rights activists sends to the people of the region and to those advocating for civil rights?
Obviously, the message which Pakistan sends, it's a clear one that Baloch are not even human. But what we want to tell the world is we are as human as anyone else. We are as deserving of freedom, of sovereignty, of dignity as any other human being. We are not comparing ourselves in that sense with anyone else, but what we are telling the world, you should be looking Balochistan situation as it actually is, without the lenses of the Pakistani state, because the Pakistani state is lying. They have never allowed a UN rapporteur or an independent journalist to visit Balochistan for over 2 decades now. And then the same army claims that it is an integral part of the Pakistan, but that integral part of Pakistan, which they claim is already broken, and it will soon be very much far, far away from Pakistan.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, sir.
Thank you very much. No problem.